Oh, I love your heart. That's awesome. It's beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Of course, I'm right there. I'm right there. You made it.
Oh, well, 30 years. Wow, 30 years. So, how many of you are 30 or older? Raise your hand. Well, this party is for all of you. It's our way of saying thank you so very much for supporting Coastal Community Foundation, for your love of philanthropy, for your care about the community that you live in and the support you wish to give to that community. For that, we say thank you very much. My name is Alice Jacobsen, and I am the chair of the board of directors here at Coastal. And I'm really happy to see you all. Thank you for being here. I have to tell you a really quick story. My sister started a business, it's called For Affect, and she helps people learn how to speak and how to be concise and make notes and talk to everybody. And she said, you can't make a speech without a total written out speech. I said, I've never written it out. She says, well, you're going to have to do it for this. Well, she's not here tonight, so. And I'm a nervous wreck because I've never written anything out before. What you will see this evening as you wander around and eat and so forth are many of the donors and grant stories. On each table, actually, there is a story. There's also information about the different funds and programs that we have. Just a little quick tidbit for you, a little bit about the history. The first two executive directors were Dick Allison, who is here, I know, so stand up, please, Dick. And Ronnie C. Ronnie, I know you're here also. The other thing I would like is if any of the founders are here, and I know there are several here, would you also stand up, please? If you are a founder of this organization. Thank you so much for your dedication. Thank you for starting Coastal Community Foundation. We're so glad that you've done that. Now, I would love if the current board of directors would stand. Please. I just want to say that nobody could be more proud than I to be chair of this board. They make my job so easy, and they make me look so good, and it's just wonderful. Thank you all very, very much. So, let's see. I wish to thank Kristen and John, whose home was open to all of us for this event. Thank you so very, very much. We're so happy that you asked us and told us that we could have this. And now, I'd like to have turn this over to Sharon Omahan, who is the Executive Director of Coastal Community Foundation, and without her, not sure that we'd all be here tonight. Thank you, Sharon.
Thanks.
Thank you all for coming. I'm very excited to share just a couple of history points with you about the foundation. It was started in 1987 by a great visionary group of people who wanted this to be around so that money stays locally. By the end of the first 10 years, there were 11 funds and $325,000 in assets. And that's all because it was run primarily by volunteers. Ronnie and Dick were paid just a little stipend and volunteered a lot of their time to put into starting the foundation. As we went through the next 10 years, we ended up with a lot more funds, and especially the education and scholarship funds, which we were very well known for. Over the last 10 years, I'm really excited to say that we put about $2 million back into the community through our grant programs. Yeah. And this year, we're on track to probably grant between $400,000 and $500,000 back locally and nationally to nonprofits. So it's all because of you. And the stories, Bill Dean, wherever you are, always used to say, behind every one of our funds is a story about how people want to help their community. And the best way for us to illustrate that is to share a couple of our grantees with you so they can tell stories about how a grant might have impacted the community and what they're doing. So Chris Megason, Solutions for Change, is going to come up and share a little bit of a story first.
Good evening. I almost don't need this microphone here. I'm a Marine, so I still speak from the diaphragm. But thank you so much for having me here tonight. I'm here with one of our residents, Amber, and I just want to tell you how, just very quickly, why this means so much to Solutions for Change, why you in this foundation mean so much. 18 years ago, I was helping out at a winter shelter designed for men. And a 9-year-old homeless girl reached over. She wasn't supposed to be there with her mom and her baby sister. She was living on the floor of an emergency winter shelter right here, one of the greatest places in the world you could live. And she yanked really hard on my sleeve, and she asked me this very innocent question. She said, "Hey, mister, do you live here too?" And just the way she said that, I was there with my 2 boys helping out. And I got down on one knee and I looked at her and I said, "You know what, sweetheart, I don't live here, but I'm going to make you a promise. We're going to get you out of this place and we're going to get you back into a home." And she thought maybe it was like a camping trip or something. All of a sudden this big guy's getting all serious, you know. And I teared up and she teared up and we gave each other a hug. And in that moment, that 9-year-old girl launched a movement called Solutions for Change. Since that night, we did get her out and get her back into a home with her mom and her baby sister, but we've got 2,200 kids and 850 families out of these horrible conditions and back into homes, healthy, with jobs, and back as part of our community fabric. And so what you do and how you do it and what you're about equips us and invests in us to underwrite futures for families. One of the families I have here tonight is Amber. What's really interesting about this is that finally, after 18 years, Solutions for Change was just broadcast nationally on NBC Saturday morning on a show called Give. And it's a kind of a reality TV show where they come in and they pretend like they're doing a PCA. And then at the end of the show, Blair Underwood, the actor and executive producer, says, "I'm not really here doing a PCA, a PSA. I'm here to help you." And he gives us a check. And this woman right here, when she came into Solutions, said, "You might get 15 minutes of fame, in Solutions for Change, just because we're always out doing stuff, and I'm always asking our residents to get out of their comfort zone." But Amber was featured on the show, and she shared some things about her journey that I'm just so grateful that she's part of our family today, and she's here to share a couple of things, just so you get a feel for how you are transforming lives with Solutions for Change.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Amber. I'll make it quick. The reason I came to Solutions for Change is I grew up in a multi-generational drug addiction, alcoholism. There was domestic violence. My father was killed in front of me and my sister when I was 6. My mom just went from man to man to man. So I was ingrained and taught a lot of things that, you know, drugs were okay, men were okay. You don't have to work. Who does that? And so, you know, 5-6 years ago, I was in a bad relationship. My daughter's father started using drugs. He went to prison, and so now I'm stuck with these kids. And so I started using drugs. I started drinking, and so I was a huge problem to the community. I was arrested. I got my kids taken away. So since I was like, I need to figure this thing out. I have these kids, and I have to, you know, live a productive life. So I went and I got myself treatment at a residential treatment program in Oceanside, and I really researched on where to find a place where I can find, you know, to raise my kids in a clean and sober environment. And since coming to Solutions for Change, I've been there about 1.5 years. I work a full-time job. I've been clean and sober for over 2 years. I have a car, and I have a car that I was able to get for my daughter. I have a senior in high school. I have another daughter that's 9, and I have a 2-year-old son. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I'm a model, you know, in my community. I give back, and these are the things that Solutions taught me. So that's it.
Thank you for supporting Solutions for Change and being part of our transformational journey with families like Amber's. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
We have one more short story, and then I'm going to bring up a donor to share his story. So Nicole from Casa de Amistad is here, and she's going to tell you how the grants from our various funds have helped them.
Thank you. Okay, so I will make it short. My name is Nicole. I'm from Casa de Amistad. We're a mentoring and tutoring program here in Solana Beach. We work primarily with underserved students in preschool through 12th grade. What I really appreciate about your foundation is you've always supported us in our next big thing. So when we see a need, an identified need, a perceived need, we've come to the foundation, and you've always supported us in that. So we have started a preschool enrichment program where we bring in the preschool students after school, and they get some extra support. You've helped us with our San Diego Youth Symphony partnership. So our students come to Casa de Amistad, and they receive free music instruction twice a week. They are able to play the viola, the violin, or cello. You've helped us with our STEM initiative. So this year we have 18 seniors who are going on to college. Many of them are interested in STEM careers. And then you've also supported our core program, our Study Companions program, which is tutoring for about 200 students in kindergarten through 12th grade, and we partner them with mentors throughout the community. So this year we have about 204 students and 200 mentors. So this is Maria. She's just going to tell you a little bit about herself and your journey at Casa de Amistad.
Hi, I'm Maria. I've been a student at Casa de Amistad since 6th grade. I'm now a senior going on to college, and Casa de Amistad has helped me. Thank you. It has helped me with my grades, my overall well-being of a human. I'm first generation, so without Casa, I don't have anyone else to help me besides my tutor and Nicole and everyone in the mentoring. So I'm very appreciative of everything that you guys do for our program, and it's very helpful to not just me, but many other students as well. Thank you.
And now you've heard the grant side. I want to bring up Ed Blodgett, and he's going to share a little bit about, from the donor's perspective, how the foundation is impacting him.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to talk about donor-advised funds and the donor-advised fund I have with the Coastal Community Foundation. And my dad always said, you know, if you ever are called upon to make some off-the-cuff remarks, you should always make sure that they're carefully written down. So, like Alice's sister. Exactly. But anyway, the reason I wanted to talk about donor-advised funds is I figure if you find something that's a really good way to make your life simpler and easier and more effective and cheaper, you should probably tell people about it. So that's why I'm here to talk about the donor advised funds. I'll start by talking about how I got involved with the first place donor advised setting up a fund in the first place. Like a lot of people, I showed up at my accountant's office, Natalie's office, with my box full of charitable receipts. And so she finally turned to me and said, this would be a lot easier for me and a lot cheaper and better and more organized and more effective for you if you just set up, a donor advised fund. And I said, well, that sounds terrific. Let's do it. One question. What the hell is a donor advised fund? So, so she said, well, it's a really easy way. You put one charitable contribution in your donor advised fund, and then you can make grants from there over an extended period of time to any causes that you like, really at any time that you'd like, but you get the charitable tax deduction when you make your contribution to the fund. So the point of it is that it's easy, it's efficient. You don't end up having to it keeps track of all your different donations. The hardest part for Betsy and me was thinking of a name for our fund, so we called it the Blodgett Fund, and pretty easy. And we had looked into having our own family foundation, but we found out it was a whole lot easier and better and simpler just to have a donor advised fund at the community foundation. So that's what we did. And now we can make grants to whatever charities we want straight out of our donor advised fund. And it's easy. We just send an email to Sharon, and she takes care of us. It was easy to set up. She made it easy to set up, and it's easy to do. So if we want to give a grant to Puerto Rico for hurricane relief, or Casa de Amistad, or anything else that we want to do, or our alma mater, or Doctors Without Borders, whatever it is, it's easy. We just send an email and it's done, and it's nice and organized. It's also great for tax planning because, as an example, we've figured tax planning means getting Uncle Sam to help you give more money to charity so you can have more impact on the causes you care about. So for instance, for me, in a year when I sold my business and I was going to have more of a tax burden than I normally have, I got to put, I basically rolled forward several years of charitable donations and put it into my donor advised fund in 1 year. And then that money is there for me to grant out for years to come, me and my family. So it's invested. It also can be invested for the long run. So it actually can be invested in the market. And hopefully the market will grow and help us give more money to charity because the money grows over time. And hopefully the market helps us have a greater impact on the charities that we want to support. And so, really the bottom line is that starting a donor advised fund at the Coastal Community Foundation was really kind of a gift to ourselves. The money that we contributed there in the fund is there for us to think about and for us to distribute, hopefully with our family and possibly our kids over time, to support the causes that we care about. So I wanted to thank Sharon for making it so easy for us.
And now, as they say, dinner is served. So Edwin is going to be putting out dinner. I hope you enjoy. There is going to be a variety of food. And don't forget, afterwards, we have Isabel Brienne's French pastry on the other side of the pool making fresh dessert crepes. So you'll want to make sure you catch that on your way out. And a housekeeping item that everybody will ask, where are the restrooms? They're in the casita next to where Isabel's is making the crepe. So that's housekeeping. Enjoy your dinner and enjoy each other's company tonight.